a town hall meeting. It's a family meeting. I want to encourage everyone, if you have something, a concern that you want to say, please do not hesitate to say it. I will give you what our suggested format for this town hall meeting, where we encourage everyone to feel free and to feel at ease that whatever you say here is never going to hurt you. It's a family discussion. We will listen to you. Whatever you say, we'll take note of it, and we'll take it with us, and we'll see how we can use it to make it us better. Gambia, you all agree, is a peaceful country. It's a young country. All what you want is for the Gambians to remain healthy, to grow, and also to develop. When I say to develop, it is broad. To develop in your desires to become, even in academia or in sports or in business, whatever you want to do. So the Ministry of Youth and Sports, we are not only focused on sports. We also talk about youth matters. Anything that is concerning the young people, we talk about it. And that is very broad and diverse and cross-cutting. Every ministry in the Gambia is a stakeholder of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Sometimes people will say the budget for the Youth and Sports Ministry is small. Yes, directly it can be small. But like I said, the Ministry of Health, their budget, 60% of it, what they are spending on the population is for the young people, because young people form over 60% of the population. Agriculture, their budget is the same. So all sectors, their budget, the youth component, you cannot extract it from there. So for that matter, I think we can see ourselves and consider ourselves as a very important ministry. In fact, we will change that dynamic. When you say youth and sports, people think it's a low, small, key ministry, and that is not the case. Our family is bigger and stronger and healthier than any other ministry. So today, our discussion is going to focus on these suggested thematic areas. We have identified 6 thematic areas. One is going to be youth employment, skills and entrepreneurship. Youth employment, formal employment, informal employment, and skills also. And then entrepreneurship development. And then the second thematic area is youth leadership, participation, and governance. It is the wish of this government and the Ministry of Youth to get the young people involved in leadership programs and also to participate, even in politics. When you talk about politics, some people say it's not for me. Any nation where the young people are not ready to participate in politics, that nation does not have a very good future. So we encourage you to participate in politics, but you don't participate in politics during our working hours. Nobody will stop you, like the Honorable Minister said before. No one will stop you from participating in politics. And sports development and infrastructure. When we say sports development, it's not only football. There are other sporting activities, volleyball, tennis, table tennis, even bowling. Bowling, we should introduce it in Gambia. People of my age, maybe we cannot play football, but we can also go with our spouses to do bowling, which is okay, table tennis and others. Inclusion, Gambians, young Gambians in particular with disability, we cannot leave them behind, or people who are physically challenged. Let us always partner with them and bring them on board. Gender inclusion, we should always make sure that whatever we are doing, the women are represented, the young girls are there. And when we talk about sports, let's not forget about the young girls. What do we have for them? A young girl who is not interested in playing football does not mean that she's not interested in sports. So we can always include them. The health, well-being, and sports for development. When you talk about health and well-being of the young people, this is where the issue of drugs come in. We all know drugs does not go along with having a healthy and a young population. You compromise your health if you engage in drugs. And even smoking. Thank God now cigarette smoking is going on down in this country here. And I think we should encourage the very few among us who are still smoking to stop smoking. So the health component of this discussion is very, very important. We have the security chiefs here. They will talk to us about how drug abuse and drug use is affecting our national development and growth. Partnership and innovation. We have to partner with our community leaders, with the business sector, the private PPP, We need to encourage that. The government cannot do it alone. All sectors need to participate in this. I think we will do our own internal campaign to reach out to other ministries to participate in addressing the challenges the young people are facing. Basically, the next component we are going to be doing is a problem identification. Every region has specific problems in terms of these 6 thematic areas that I have mentioned. We want to give you the opportunity to tell us what are some of these top challenges in your regions, and who is affected most. Who do you think is affected most? Obviously, it's the young people who are affected most, and why you think they are affected most. And then what has not worked so far? There have been interventions by the government, by the private, by the communities. What has worked and what has not worked? We want to hear from you. What do you think government was doing and it has not worked? Because government likes to get feedback from you so that they can also choose whether to revisit their programs and the approaches in terms of implementing their programs. And then we'll come to the experiences. On this tour, we visited the ministry's intervention project sites. We want to see the projects that the ministry has been supporting through various institutions, PIA, GSI, and also NYSS. We want to see the success rate, how they are doing, to see what are some of their challenges. So there are a lot of good experiences that we want to share here. And of course, from your end, you may know somebody who's involved in doing some activity in your community and you think is very successful. That needs to get government's attention so that it can be replicated in other parts of the country. So we will do experience sharing, what worked, why it has worked, what support was critical, what policy changes would help scale the impact up, and then the expected outcome. The expected outcome from this town hall meeting can be summarized in identify your priority issues. There are a lot of issues, but like I said, in Gambia, one of our challenges is we try to bite more than what we can chew. We want to do everything at the same time. And people are, in this country, I don't know if it's because of our size or not, people are a little bit impatient. Development does not happen overnight. Development is sequential. It will happen over a period of time. Gambia, a young country, we just got our independence in 1960. When the British were living here, there was nothing here. And you hear people say even the first regime, the first republic did not do anything. Believe me, if you understand what we had to go through, you will appreciate where we are today. I can tell you, Gambia is a lot better, far much better than 40 years ago. People who are there, we know it. When I was young, if I want to travel from Salikenya to Banjul, it will take me 6 hours or sometimes a whole day. We have to leave our house 5 o'clock in the morning, go to Kerewan and sit there 2-3 hours waiting for the ferry. If we are lucky, the ferry is available. If not, we take the small canoes. By the time you reach Banjul, Bara, you wait another 2-3 hours to get to cross, because there was only one ferry, the small wooden ferries. Can you imagine? You waste a lot of time. But now you can live in Salikenya and go and work in Banjul, because the roads are working, everything is fine. We have every facility that is available in the Combos, we have it in the Baribu. Not in the Kiam, but in the Baribu we have everything. People have story buildings, people have AACs, everything. And the funny thing is, even though they were not used to it, now when light goes off, they say, light, everybody start complaining. I say, when did you start getting light? Now you are complaining. And the good thing, I want to remind the community people, development comes, but don't abandon certain things. We have a life experience in Farafenni. We buried all our wells. And there was a time there was water shortage. People were going to the Senegalese border to fetch water. So let's always put Plan B in place. This is what the discussion is going to be all about, the expected outcomes. We've talked about that. And partnership is very, very key. Please, let's not do this in isolation, especially the security people are here. We want their participation in this. We need to assess the approach that we are using. Every sector in the Gambia needs to assess its approach when it comes to dealing with the young people. Is the approach right? Is it appropriate? Because we are dealing with something maybe we don't understand. The young people now are very smart, very intelligent. Let's not underrate them. Let's not see the young people in the 80s and 90s and think that they are still the same young people. They are very, very smart. They are ahead of us in terms of technology, use of technology and other things. So if your approach is not right, then you're all going to pay a heavy price. So the security, I'm appealing to you. You are our partners in development. I want you to, engage our young people, see how best you can sit down with them and talk about the issues that affect them most. With that, I want to thank everybody for your kind attention, and thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, I think we already understand the areas that we should be focusing on during the town hall meeting. But to add, this is a town hall meeting. When we start, people can speak in different language. We don't only need to speak in English so that we can all understand the discussion, because it is very important for us to hear each other and know the recommendation. The next person to speak is our Honorable Governor, Honorable Sambaba. Honorable Governor, you are welcome.
The Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Bakary Badjie, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth and Sports, the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Finance and Admin, the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Technical, Ministry of Youth and Sports, the various Executive Directors from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the Director of Ministry of Youth and Sports, all members who have accompanied the Minister on this tour, my security heads and other security heads here present, as the police, the SIS, the Law Drug Enforcement, the Director of Agriculture, URR, the representative of the Chief, the Youth and Sports Coordinator, URR and team, the Regional Youth Chairperson, and also the entire members of the team, the Sports Chairperson, URR and team, members and other young people from the other various groups here present, ladies and gentlemen, the media, all protocols duly and respectfully observed. I say a warm good afternoon to all of you. It is indeed yet another very important milestone in the history of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and by extension to the government of the Gambia. Today's town hall meeting is a manifestation that the government of His Excellency, the President of the Republic, dear so important the young people of this country, and by extension to the general population. Having this town hall meeting is another step towards the right direction in making sure that the communities in all aspects or groups will interface with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, trying to articulate some of the successes that the ministry has achieved, but also some of the challenges that the young people feel that needs to be addressed within the shortest possible time. And today, I think if there is any other person happier in this region, I am the happiest, because this is an interface by the ministry and the cohort that they are also administering, that is the young people. As the Permanent Secretary rightly said, when you talk about young people, it is cross-cutting in all the ministries. Like the budget that is given to ministries, a greater chunk of that budget goes to the young people. For example, today when you talk about agriculture, those that are engaged in agriculture, young people are found to be engaging in agriculture, and you name it. When you go to the health sector, when you go to the education sector, who are those people that are benefiting? I think that is where we have to get it right. Because when we talk about the budget of the young people, particularly with regards to Ministry of Youth and Sports, perhaps it may be small. Yeah, but we also have to understand, as far as other sectors also are concerned, the budgets of those sectors also captured the young people of this country and the women at large. So this meeting is here for us to iron out certain issues and make clarification. Because as it is always stated, if you don't clarify certain things, there will be what we call a misconception. And in that it is when the misconception has been aired out, that is the time you come out to clear. And we are not in that situation here. What we are here for is the Ministry of Youth and Sports, through the leadership of the minister, deem it very necessary and very fitting that they have to crisscross the length and breadth of this country, interface with stakeholders, and particularly the young people, and see what are the progress made and what are the challenges and how best we can address those challenges. And the young people and the other members of this important meeting, here we are. Let us try to make sure we appreciate what has been done. But let us not also hesitate to bring out certain things that we felt that it should be what we call addressed as far as this meeting is concerned. This morning, I had a lengthy discussion with the Honorable Minister and team, and I believe and I guess most of the things that you are going to bring out here, these are things that I've already discussed with the Minister, but notwithstanding, it is also important that you say it out, and at the end of the day, we will have what we call the Minister and team responding. But wallahi, one needs to be very frank whenever we speak. We cannot say that from 2017 to date, what has been injected in young people as far as Upper River region is concerned is huge. And we have been seeing a lot of progress being made as far as our sporting discipline is concerned, as far as the youth activity and entrepreneurship also is concerned. All these things have been happening in this region. But I know that it cannot be completed and it cannot be 100%. There must be some gaps that we need to at least bring out. But I always say this, before you say, do this for me, accept what has been done. And here we cannot sit and say the Ministry of Youth and Sports, under the leadership of Honorable Bakary Badjie, has not done anything for this region. We are so grateful to the ministry, we are so grateful to the minister for what they have done. Since his assumption to office, we have seen there were a lot of challenges and problems with regards to young people coming together. Today it is becoming what? In fact, it is a thing of the past. All because of what? The dedication of the leadership of Upper River region, but at the same time also the leadership of the ministry coming together, working with the young people, trying to see that we address some of those challenges that we are in Upper River region. Today we are in the right footing. Today I said we are in the right footing. Let's try to grab the opportunities that we have, and we will get to where we want to get to. I will assure you that, and I will promise you. Because whatever we are doing it in making sure that we better the people that we serve. And there are no other people that we are serving other than you people here and then the young people of Upper River region. I will advise and give you a caution. Let's try to be united as one people. Let's try to be united as one people. If we are united, there is nothing that we cannot bring in Upper River region. If there is a division among ourselves, there is nothing that we can bring in Upper River region. Because even if you want to bring it, the only problem that we buy you from that coming is they will tell you that you are not united. But alhamdulillah, today, the young people of Upper River region have listened to what we call the authorities, have listened to the elders, and today that unification we have seen. Let's continue and maintain that momentum. That's my advice. Let's continue and maintain that momentum. I know very well what is in the pipeline. Within 1 year or so, you will see a big difference in Upper River region. We have started seeing the difference. These young people, under the leadership of the minister, are the very people with His Excellency the President that worked it out for URR to have the SAFRA successfully done. If I and my team and those who we are managing, we are so greedy as it used to be, what would have happened? We would end up having a SAFRA where we will be divided because some people must have squandered the monies. We have to change the narratives. I always tell the young people, time will come that Sambaba will not be in this region. Sambaba will go. But let's try to build institutions whereby Sambaba cannot, what we call, determine how the region is going to move. It's the institution that will drive us to move forward. That is what we should think about. And all of us, I am challenging you, the young people, take it now. You are the leaders of today. I'm not saying tomorrow. You are the leaders of today. The ones that we are seeing here, people have said it. The lives of what we call Mr. Mane work extremely well in making sure that sports and its what we call walk-ins work in Upper River region to a region that Upper River region was one of the regions that was on top if it comes to footballing and this region. But today, where are we? Are we taking it serious? And in those days, even the facilities were not there. The opportunities were not there. But they were able to strive and even played in the national team. Why can't we get those things again? But through division, we cannot get it. And I know we have the talent. We have the young people here. We have the talent. And we are more than willing to support you in making so. Today is your show. But all what we are doing, let us do it manually, please. We have the Honorable Minister, we have the Permanent Secretary, we have his own team, his own, what we call, the ministry has moved from Banjul. Today the ministry is in URA. Let's try to make best use of the ministry. And then put our points forward. And I know they are keen listeners. They listen and they will act. So this is our opportunity. That is why it is only in the dispensation of His Excellency President Adam Barrow that we have started seeing series of town hall meetings where duty bearers and right holders interface. It has never happened. Why? Because we want to bring in democracy into our governance system. We want to bring in accountability into our governance system. We want to make sure that at least our offices and our government is closer to the people that they are serving. That is why we are here today. And this is an opportunity that we cannot squander. Please. The young people are here, but I know what I have said is what is in your minds, and all these things were articulated carefully in my office, because I represented the young people, and I represent the people of Upper River Region. And whether you know it day and night, I am working towards bringing success to Upper River Region, so that tomorrow, anytime I get my back out of Upper River Region, I will say this is a legacy, a good one for that matter. And this is how every individual should think about. On that note, I am so elated and so happy that my honorable minister and a brother, I did not know honorable minister here. We worked in the youth sector. Then I did not even know him. We are not close to each other. But today, God so good, he has become a minister, a youth minister for that matter. This has never happened in the history of the Gambia. Most of those people who were becoming ministers are at the age of 60 years, 70 years as Minister of Youth and Sport. Today, you have a young, dynamic, and energetic somebody who is willing to spend the night with you even at the football field. It means the only thing that he needs is support and collaboration. And I promise the Honorable Minister, he will be in Banjul and he will never, URR is going to be a crime-free as far as youth and sports issues are concerned. Thank you so very much.
All the directors, ladies and gentlemen, the chairpersons of the Youth and the Sports Committee that have come to join us, and all of your members from the various constituencies and villages and towns of URR. We are really grateful to all of you for taking time to come and join us in this very important town hall meeting that we believe is a perfect opportunity for all of us to dialogue, for all of us to interact and get to understand each other better. And you've already had the essence of the town hall from the Permanent Secretary, and you've had the statement of the Governor in terms of what is expected, but also in terms of government presence in the region through programs, through activities that are done to benefit young people of this country, especially those young people of the Upper River region. And we believe, as the Governor said, that governance is not about what happens in the office alone. It's not about the policies and the programs that are written, but it's also about having these interactions with people so that we can be able to hear from you, you hear from us, and collectively we see what we can do to improve on the work that we're doing, as well as what we can do to be able to respond to the needs of the people that we serve. So today we are looking at youth and sports, and that is what the focus is. But in the aspect of youth, there are a lot of issues that comes along with it. Issues of peace and security, issues of migration, issues of drug use, substance abuse, and a lot more issues. And we all know that in the recent past, there has been a surge in the number of young people that have attempted to travel out of this country in their attempt to reach Europe through all of us what we call the back way or the irregular migration, and we know the risk involved in that. We know of people that have succeeded in crossing and getting into Europe, but we know about a lot of young people also that have perished, that have died in the high seas just because they couldn't reach and their boat has an accident or something happened to them. And even those who manage to cross and reach Europe, how is their living conditions there? Are they able to do something that is so impressive that we want to risk our lives to go? And yes, there are some that have done well, but majority of the people that went are struggling. They are equal to those that are here, or even sometimes those that are here do better in terms of performance, in terms of being able to take care of themselves and take care of their families. And this is a reality. If you take an example of a young man who stayed behind and finished high school and went to university and is working, that person is able to take care of himself. He's able to pay rent. He's able to feed the family. Even if he doesn't have a savings in their account, even though some do, but it's still better. But what about those who went? I'm not saying those who are involved in illegal activities of selling drugs and other things. I'm talking about those who got a legitimate job. And we believe that yes, young people can travel if they wish, but they need to do it the right way. And they need to wait until when they get the right documentations to go, then they'll be able to do something out there. But even if they want to go, let them get a skill while they're in the Gambia. Because it is only skill that can be able to make you settle down quicker and be able to get a job when you're out there. So these are the things that we're looking at. But we know, even though it didn't come to URR, but in the greater Badjie area, we have had a lot of demonstrations last year. Young people going to the street to protest about one thing or the other. Some other things that they don't even have much business to do with it. But they decide to go on the streets. And what we see is a confrontation between them and the security officers. And some have been arrested. Some are still going to court as we speak. And what are we going to end up? We will end up at the discussion table in a way to discuss and agree on how to solve some of those issues. So as a ministry, we do not want to continue to see what is happening, because the security has a job to do. And if people go to the street without the permit and they are arrested or they are prosecuted, one can say it is right, because there is a law that says you must go follow this procedure to do what you want to do. But that is not the best option. We don't want to see our young people being arrested. We don't want to see our young people getting into confrontation with the security on things that could have been avoided at the beginning. And so, before you end up being in trouble and then come back to negotiate or discuss, we think the starting point should be these conversations that we have, so that we hear you, we respond to your issues, we provide clarity on some of the issues that are not clear, and we hope that the problems will be resolved through those conversations. So that is the essence of us being here, and we hope that we will be able to have a free platform. It doesn't matter where you're coming from, it doesn't matter what language you speak. What is important is for us to be able to hear you and provide answers for concerns that you have. But of course we know that there are a lot of progressive things that have happened in this country under the leadership of His Excellency President Barrow. And the governor did mention quite a number of them. If you talk about human capital development, which is the main issue for young people, there has been the University of the Gambia, and just recently the phase 2 was opened, and they laid the foundation for phase 3. That is for the young people to be able to acquire a higher education in their home country. But we also know that His Excellency President gave instructions for the transformation of the GTTI into a University of Science and Technology. That is also meant to ensure that we build the capacity of our young people, give them skills that they need to be able to control the informal sector and take it from the people that are coming from other countries as it is the situation right now. In URR here, we know of the establishment of the Gambia College, and I'm told now that more TVEC centers are coming. They are meant to train young people to have skills. If you go to the CRR, WASO, they are constructing a new institute, a training institute for young people who are interested in agriculture. The same thing applies in Tujare, where young people who are interested in fishing can go there and acquire skills, proper skills, and be graduate with diplomas on how to manage fish or how to get into the fishing industry, because we have a resource in the waters that we are not tapping into. So these are all interventions that are meant for young people in higher education. In the sports sector, it's the same. There is no time in the history of this country that a government is investing in sports the amount of money that this government is investing. And these are realities based on what we see. It's not just about infrastructure, but even with the participation of our national teams, be it football, basketball, volleyball, handball, athletics, in international competition. And we've seen the numbers in terms of young people that are leaving the Gambia, signing professional contracts outside. All of these are opportunities that are provided by government. In the agriculture sector, you can list them. In our tour this time around, we decided to visit the young people that benefited from our programs, and they're doing so well in the agriculture sector. For two things, to see what they're doing, but also to showcase it for other young people to see, to know that there is a potential in the agriculture sector, and government is supporting directly through its funds or through donor support. We can go on and on in terms of the opportunities that are available for young people. But are they enough? Maybe somebody can say no, but the progress is there, the intention is there, and this is what is more important. That if someone can get it, or where we are last year or 5 years ago, we are far ahead of that. And that's the reality. If you come to URR today, as you travel from one community to another, you are easily connected by roads. That's a progress. Electricity is constant. Villages that never had electricity are getting to do, that's progress. So all of these cannot happen at one time. We must be able to realize that development is a process that takes from one step to another. That is why even those countries that are called advanced countries, they are still building, they are still constructing, they are still building more universities, more roads. We will get there someday, but we want people to believe in the country and continue to do their best to change the status quo of themselves, their families, and their communities. But that is a responsibility that us as young people have. We can depend on our adults, but the adults can do so far as their energy and time and education can give them. But the responsibility of this country today and the future of this country squarely lies on the young people that are leading today to be able to continue to do well for their communities and be able to take over from the leaders of today and continue on the development trajectory. So dear young people, our dear participants, this is the reason why we are here, and we look forward to having that frank and open dialogue between you and us, and you can be assured that where we have answers today, we will provide them. Where we don't have answers, we will be able to get back to you on that. But the most important is the outcome of this meeting that we intend to put in a report to share not just within the ministry, but by government, the extension of government to other ministries to take note and take action to be able to resolve the issues that young people have, so that we can be able to change the status quo and the living conditions of young people, but we also contribute our part towards the overall development of this country. So I will want to declare the meeting open and hand over to you people to hear from you, and we'll see how we go. I know we have a closing time, I think which is 2 o'clock, so we still have 1 hour to go. Thank you very much.
Authorities and then youth delegates present, welcome to the town hall meeting at URR, the first of its kind in the history of the Ministry of Youth and Sport. Having said that, it has already been outlined the purpose why you people are chosen out of the thousands of young people in URR. Therefore, it is my belief and conviction that you will represent the people of URR properly. It is my belief that you have already understood why you are here. It is my belief that the purpose of you being here will not be defeated, and you will ask relevant questions, questions that you've been murmuring all the time, questions that make you go to the street and protest, questions that make you go to Facebook and talk. This is the real time for you to face the authorities, because information brings clarity. Clarity gives us audience, and audience drives progress. When young people are informed, they cannot be manipulated. They hold the leaders accountable, and this is our belief. Now is the time that you are facing regional authorities. You've heard the governor's speech. You've heard the minister's speech. How does it resonate well with you? It cannot be business as usual. And this is why the Ministry of Youth and Sport take it upon themselves to meet the young people. It doesn't mean that they are here because they want to run away from responsibilities. They want to be held accountable. And this is why you have the members of the high table, from the security personnel, from the local authorities, from the ministry, from the satellite institutions that are responsible for your affairs. You come from the district youth committee and other youth institutions. So we hope you will not be disappointed that this discussion will be guided on the themes that are cited here. Issues of migration, issues of peace and security, issues of education, health, or any other related issue that is affecting the young people of this country. Therefore, for us to have an honest discussion, for us to have an orderly discussion, it is important that I moderate this program. Even whereas I work within the ministry, I will try my best to be very fair here because I have to maintain neutrality as a moderator. So one of the few things we need to observe is to make sure that this gathering or this discussion is grounded with facts, is a discussion that is grounded with facts. So therefore, one of the rules that we want to set is to maintain absolute decorum. You have every right to criticize. Criticism is welcome, disrespect is not. And then let us try to address issues and remove any other personal grievances. Again, we want to make it clear that you will be given the microphone. This is your show. We will give you 3 minutes. It shouldn't be more than 3 minutes. You can ask a question. You can raise a concern. And then you can also share your experience with regard to some of the benefit that you have acquired from the ministry. 3 minutes will be given to each. If you exceed more than 3 minutes, the moderator, that is myself, I have the right to interrupt you because this is an orderly manner that we want to go ahead. So without much ado, what I will do right now is to open the floor for discussion. But I want to remind you that misinformation is not allowed. And anytime it pops up as a moderator, I will try to clarify before we proceed. The floor is open for an honest discussion. And I hope this meeting will not be a waste of time. It will be documented. Mamalang and I will document whatever is actually said here. Your questions will be addressed by the ministry. I am Mustafa Sonko and I work as the program manager at the National Youth Service Scheme. Welcome to Basse Town Hall meeting. So I'll take, thank you. Yeah, give me a round of applause at least. It cannot be a graveyard. And this must be very interesting. So what I will do is, I will take 4 people. The language of instruction can be any other language that you speak, and then we will interpret where the need be. Okay? So, so coming for them, well, Mansakunda Natale, Ministry of Youth and Sport, Nimu Nyontanolti, mi alonko anene manke nyimbanko kang anene manke Ministry of Youth and Sport, mi alonko kana. Ba ngamin fo wolem. Nim funding keli la right long. Nim funding keli alo mimbe kiring. Hani moti je mi alonko abe nenela. Niaje minister botanala office oto anata jan amanka anata jan because asilata le pour ka face crowd la ni wontende sila banjul ngami fono wala niaje funding kel ka findi e kata banta ka demonstrate wala kata Facebook ka demonstrate probably imang audience le soto so right now munul be min ka fo jannen afodulate bar ngami fo lam even whereas ilafta ka jinin karo ke ngake kuluo ani famma jiyo kono momo be diam la jang imanyena diam la ay tambi minute sabala because modol le biji nata ko ila diamo lafta ka tambi minute sabala ndebe stop la nga foye ko Michael Landi pour doyena wala ntela do ko ti jambi and I hope atol dol fanan album bulala nga do ko ke because am easy dol camera la ko man la fika microphone de moti jammi yaran ko ndebe sila la ka microphone dila wala na ngal be invite momo ya bulo wulindi mbe microphone de ba ni ma dila fanan salon time wala manke ya maybe ni nga dila be min fola ndol nga be le moy anu lafta ka be moy fan okay good so sa me min kala wala min lafta ka diam ye bulol wulindi me min kala mba make so la ko ni nga kelta nga musol fananta e saja e ke gender balance and I hope musol te bulol te tarla duma e bato fo ci da maya stand because that is the experience al ke bot le ni kambani ngol diam ta dena to na ena diam and that is not the way. Thank you so much. So sa me be ngo dael
Okay, greetings. I think I have to speak Mandinka for the best interest of, because here I believe that, yeah. The more be kontona, because being mitino membe kerin jang ni munyon tawleti. Akumaya ta ba kele. Ni memma moy jang o mam nin tundo amana fa fe ofendina. So jani mol bet lak mol fom fon nan safo jang jan ma fo lati. Benda tentro sambala minister kang permanent secretary ana ado kunyol minister mbafole ko big bravo because ngela kata ko jele ndabata tumanale ndam seku en manelti ordinary mbota badar rek ngela kata ko jele because nge safe ye mol jabile ngela jabiro jele kontanta bari mban say mbaji tan le la kafu ko fil kilume alon ka fenstante la tundo kanje aka mol nafa bakele but ni ajube hansain adjustment on sulata adjustment la jele ni nga o adjustment soto wala mol mako la bake mbe diam kan tumanale mbe diam kan badarre because jelon filo de me alon ko all district activity tol be kata jele so mbe ya marre ni nako hansain minister ba kata kan ba hansain filo ni inyalo akang because abandar badar damba jaba tumana beleje mbena oncle kontona Ibrahima Mane o mum barin kono tolte ndam badarin kolte is my biological oncle ma nyolon nyaaw nyandi bar na oncle lom mbe fanan mbe tax dile fanan na kafu ko je inante nyaalo la jele de badare inante jaalo la jele because filo jimbe dama kumata jele okay ala baraka baraka
so we are moving question
yo assalamu alaikum ngamo be konton kana governor ba ani minister ani momo be jam ndeto mun nafa jabaylati mbota wulli east bi mbediam ka wulli sport committee tola yalla folo mbafula minister nge tentu nge jay barna tentu bi abumba be ngadi na regional sport chairman alaji moya balde because alaji moya kabira kada chairman oti yuara jam funding tol be kada kilit because molamu a folota mun wala kada funding tol la ma fonti me kada youth council kabira boto ada sport mpon le natan kay ay na kabira ada sport you are safe bank worlo be e be kada bakilu fakilu so moy men kedro nga tentu nga jay so mbe men fula minister intel ken his excellency president Adama Cairo hino project bar nga tentu bake nga jay because intel you are called B nga men soto ne ma soto mol ka bona fo wulli sudu ko bayena collect ke jang yesay yeta yera mol de ma so ko jonnoke wala kita president baro nko mbe kuma kilim fula you are called sutu funding chol president baro ñin sanji lulo ñin sanji kono ko na menke sanji talulu ni nan kola koma anene manke jam because bi ne adibe hanintel la ñin santo bi tara dawda courant fela bi funding kol fon ne wura nga do ko ke president baro titano kankuni la rato ka do ko ke courant be yalan ko anata mel tole karam nga ke welda manolti nga ke capitalti nga som nga do ko ke nga banko samba nyaat because si c'est president baro bi hanta mo ka so yadi ndel frenti ni wulta jang mano ba beto silandur be do kuta adu nyim femba be funding ke la sareto bay funding ke la kasel motorcycle kan funding ke la ka moto bondi say ay men sono yandi mbulu men ka bol wo sonandi folo wolom taran siloti ni silo man soto mano fan ka samba fonte la su ko be kolya so president barontel bafla minister ko nga tentu nga jay nte ladda e monolom wala ken kay ko pan africanist because molom me alon ko ayentel dema bar bafla minister fanantel la wuli ist ni aji be tundol be felentiri be ministre de mol soto kan ni tada nya ko ya beje Basse ya soto bar wuli ismumo ntel fana mon fil soto me yalon ko fonni kel si nyalo wala kan hanni nga football soto nga tuna menol soto pour tiketo fon si men soto asna kem fon income generating activities si marno na ko la so minister laftale PS diba ayo sa fe science en kaje ko wuli ispana ngam fon sum filo soto so ngal tentu ngal jay mba fala minister ko ngal tentu ngade bios me ala ko di anteli ye place o tiol because mo memu aketa youth council oti mo men kada funding ko la council bi ni o ke minister abe funding ko le de mala e ko funding ko wala musama alfati bar bi governor membe ja samba ba kata bulan na nyaton ko police commissioner fo nga fana tentu ngade funding ko le ko ku soto nyin commissioner ka kata je hanni ngatulu ngona soto afana ka moto mala kataje SAS director fana be jang nyato ka kendo la mati melan koy be inina autorité sol be do ko kala pour ka nyum banko samba nyato so bari president baro comme 2026 nyawa don wiw president baro ala ba
So thank you so much.
Be mobe kontonda. Diamoti jamfala jambake kontondiro kanyanta. Bari ndetomu Omar Bari leti mbota wulli wesle. Bari nafa fulale be najang. Wulli West Sport Committee ani FA executive member lem nteti because telemu football coaches la president oti. Ndela nga sutero ke man sakunda la katada kuola kende ke nga wo sutela ani minister because Gambia nene man qualify kata AFCON na akita atela marla koto mbafala. Thank you, is a bravo to you and the entire Gambians. But in Dela Sula Dam Menti, wala munyinti ko, al nyanta alon nako Basse, URR mighty URR, Jannemu second capital of the country. Amanki mighty KMC de, amanki mighty West Coast de, Jannem URR is the second capital. Mbesura di jang standard stadium o ay tari jang. Muna kindin ko standard stadium o kijang. Ibaje la ko national timo ni nyanta ka plena. Timol meli alon ko kana jang visit na. Si punish no jang kandidale si nati jan ka yitandila ko ye ni punishment of face ka jang jambe kandrinde si bute no adiata nye nyamena ni atar stendi o mo bija ni wo bota je ndella timol medialon ko ika qualify ikata second division aka ke ndella kole yaku bati kaje ko ndel buka home game sotono na home game fan nka travel le so aka jele ko timol medialon ko ibe second division kono itel fanam punishment o mu woleti hani la home game o ibuko sotono e kata play fo bansan mo bansan ma fan jara soma ye so e bajela wo be kelante la punishment baleti kaje ko e travel même hani la home game o fan e be travel la so wala ken be sulala nyi ku fulol wala ken be sulala standard stadium mo jang anala hotelo anala everything basketball ban volleyball ban alwala andu ndengu mo jila la fo ngani fode ya fo nye president Baro Omar Bari membe sare ngay jana bodato ay courant o sotole hani may ko fam bo nyum fala ay courant o sotole ya fay ko thank you very much Mr. President.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. So since I'm given 3 minutes, I go straight to the point. Yes. So I have a few questions within the 3 minutes. My name, yes, please. Sorry about that. I go by the name Mohamed Kagbo. Yes, from Basse here. Yes, so I have a few questions, some questions directed to the minister, and then since some members of the PIA, the National Youth Council, and also probably the Sport Council are around, maybe they will be able to answer those questions accordingly. So here we have, PIA is very much active here since during our time in school days, and I graduated since 2019. So imagine since then till now, PIA has no office here. But then our coordinator has been so much strong and energetic to make sure he's always doing things regularly and on time. But then giving him an office or acquiring an office for him is going to make work easier and smoother for him to execute things. And also another thing regarding the PIA thing is the fees that is supposed to be paid by members as registration. Probably for somebody like me, it's not going to be a problem because I am within here. But those down in the communities like the hard-to-reach villages, they find it difficult to pay these fees to be members of PIA, even though they show interest to be members of PIA. So I think the ministry, together with the PIA office, is supposed to sit and look at these matters and see how best to regulate issues to help those in the rural communities. Coming down to the stadium like he was talking about, we have a stadium here. It is to my knowledge that the issue why the stadium is still not developed is because of issues of ownership and whatsoever have to do around that. And I feel like that is kind of selfish for whichever department is responsible. Let's look at the interest of the young people and develop the stadium. Our dressing rooms in those places look like dumping sites. It's not really conducive for human living and all that. So the stadium really needs to be talked about. So now to the, please, I'm begging. Please, to the National Youth Council, I feel like there are a lot of things that they are supposed to work on, which matters a lot as far as this country is concerned, especially URR. So for National Youth Council, I think the requirement for Congress matters a lot, especially the part where you say, if you don't pay your subscription fee, you don't vote in. It's just like telling somebody you're not going to vote because you don't pay your tax after you have your voter's card. So I think National Youth Council need to look into those requirements and do something that is going to help us as young people. And then their database as well. National Youth Council, your database for registered organization is very incorrect, and you have to work on it to make sure it is well. Last one.
No, that is the last one. Thank you.
All right, thank you. No
Thank
problem.
you so much. Yeah, it's okay. So.
The Minister, you are talking about irregular migration. But before you tell people that irregular migration, I want to tell you this. Bring people there closer to these manufacturing fields. For example, the lacks of skill centers. You can construct a skill centers, but the training is only 3 months or 6 months. The person will not learn how to do things correctly. At the end of the day, the person will end up involving himself into irregular migration. But if you bring things, at the end of the day, you make things a trainings 1 month, 2 months, at least they will be able to learn something and they will acquire their skills. But with the help of that 6 months, they will be able to do it. It will end up making them to irregular migration. That's my question for you.
Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum. Namo be konton kata ministra ni mobe. Assalamu alaikum be mobe konton na momo bijang kata na minister bato gofano ani momonde. Yo nte concern ne soto nte to mu Ibrahima Dabolti sandu daslam. Yo na concern mendi nka tonamenol melke fitino ka waraje bakele. So mbe apilo ke la autorité ye mol makoy. Security ka sotole bari security ka mol charge minna wol sembo ka wara bakal so ni si diamuno security le charge ro ni sa limit demanding e baji la nsi enough security soto pour na eventual sa ke no anyama pro mamam bonna yuara jam momo bi jang nin to meno pe dan programme ke dan fo dinkol kelo ka sia bakal so mbo dandro ke la autorité bu mel bi jang isi mol mako yo karola
Abaraka pa ina ko mo sutiata do be local language for no problem.
Assalamu alaikum moro. Assalamu alaikum. Yimɓe heɗo seeɗa ɓe acca hakke mi alhamdulillahi rabbil alamina mi salmini gouverneur e CFO e honorable ministre e délégation fof e directeur SAS e commissioner police fof mi salmini ɗum mi juuri ko hande fof ko 1 2 3 kane e ko hande ko mbimi haalanmi ɗo yo ardi ko mbimi bisimilla ma honorable ko mi wiyete alhaji Condi Sisoko ñamanari jeyama kantora district koyna ward ko min woni kantora sport chairman gila 2028 ha haddande hande ko woni second term am e menen de meɗen ñaagui ballal ɗo a wawide kaaɗe a ñaago ballal o haalu ko golluɗa ko nde ñaagoɗa ballal kadi gila men jooɗi e wakkilare amen e dow inde alaji muya ko guluuje temedere e capanɗe jeetati ujunere dalasi min waɗi spend e nder kantora balance amen heddi 30,000 e dow inde alaji muya minen ñaagui hande sa daari district ɗi fof ko kantora ɓuri woɗɗude min ara ɗo ta division ha e second division komin luwata ɗo otoji goɗɗi kon kulopaji amin hewɗi yaltat sabune ko woɗɗedi ɗi dépense komin watta ɗum sakkitorke ta e hunde men heɓani min yawtani min heɓani sa daari youth centre amen o ha addanema hande hay joɗoɗo men ala toon min baafe ala toon hay hunde ala toon joni minen kantora ko ɓaawo men woni minen ñaago ministre o wooda ko walli men ɗo a nokkude goɗɗo nokkuto maɗa ministre kantora miɗen yetti allah min yetti honorable o walli men ko heewi honorable Biliji Tunkara o walli men ko heewi sa emin waɗi ko wima am ɗo ko allah e honorable kono miɗen ñaago an honorable ministre e dow inde alaji muya e régional o miɗen ñaagui kantora gila ko yurjiɗe wallon men migration o heewi e nder URD kono sa daari e nder sa daari migration o ko kantora ɓuuri heewde minen ñaagui on noon sago allah sago moɗon minen nde minen ɓaawa allah min ɓaawa mum minen ɓaawa alaji muya kono taw yejjitani kantora kadi minen ɓaawa allah ɓaawa moɗon salamu aleykum rahmatullahi taala
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. I am Amidamba from Kantora district. Yes. Go ahead. Okay, what I want to talk about is about this irregular migration. Honorable already talked about irregular migration. The reason why people are engaged in this irregular migration is because many people, they used to attend these trainings, skill centers. They will attend the training. After attending the training, there is no job that is guaranteed to them. Even if they go to another institutions, after that, where is the job? There is no employment. This is why people are engaged in this irregular migration. What I'm urging is, In Basse here, there are many skills that they are building, but still now it is lacking. Because what happens? Some people to get accommodation in Basse here is a problem. Though they want to engage in this skill and they want to have something, but the accommodation is a problem. Some people transporting is their problem. So I'm urging the honorable here and the ministers, if they consider that one, it will be good for URR in general. Not only in Basse again, if the skill centers can go outside, it will be good. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Maria Omani. Ndeka na kumandinda soto kami fo na nyaton kole. Mbal dan na dum fana mbal ya marala ndel funding ke wala bata ko won. Alka football ko ka ko da sumudi dum fana mbal dan na do fana mbakwe ngayu ara samba nyato. Jama biya nka make after ye won samba kombo. Mo ta mo ya make jama e ka nyato ko le samba kombo la ila modi ko le samba tel basre ko e mo bulaje. Adum fana ale mol ma ko foni ko la ni ko masilata. Bata jama be laari dol kan wala ke samba bal danila ale ni ko masilo fanan ale foni kewol ma ko do ku kendo la ye ni ko masila tabula ale mol ma ko skills la do ku jama mol ka karanke mole bandi afta motina do ku so hani mole ata ko do ko ni ta de ka fleta ibe mol ki la bu kana mol ki al kana tantel fanan do yala ale mol ma ko tel fanan ngata nyaato ngayu ara sam.
Thank you. Next lady.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Maria Majallo from Basse Layout. Today I'm here. I have a concern about food processing. I do food processing. And then I'm very much happy for the Ministry of Youth and Sport because the support that they give on the NEDI. So I know that they are doing very well, but then I have a concern about us, we the food processors in Basse. We need a center whereby we do our food processing, including having all the materials needed, especially the packaging materials and then the machineries that we will use during food processing. It's very expensive, and we don't have any processing center in URR, in Basse Center, Fulado is, and then we need that. Thank you.
So what we're gonna do so that we don't convolute the
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. Memo be konton na ngamra mo men diamta jang adiamta man ya kangolla ay NYC la ko fo jang ko kafol la registration no nying amang correct aning ni me la substitution o jo ite sonna pour e carte o fay ning congress sita wol mu sartol leti men ya lon ko jannin kana dum congress ko nga sartol les ki tundolo tari karandalla ko carte fayo be lala tenne mobe sartol je nga sartol karang so ndak sartol la andun carte fayo na ni sartol mantra la dim carte fayo kunna carte fa atano kuke nin ko mo e na e carte o fay atano la kuke wala na ka sartol landi wo sartol wala mun ko ni mu fon ninke kafoti mune batan la ko dum fon ninke kafoti wala mun ko yeto sapele national youth council ko mune go tan la wala mun ko joro le bije nyanda kam en jo katan di ko ite fan sape national youth council ko sala nde mo joro ke jumal be sedia kayum seda perde ka ko ite sape fan sape national council ko ko sala la nan ko joro ni ne joro ke ngari si do di la wo si do la bon la katan di ko wala be garam la ko tonya ite joro kele ani e fan sape national youth council ko do ite hawla ma de pre na e carte o fay ba ni mo ke to carte o fay no la. The next thing is Nico youth organization like this. Yes, there are some because ni na council at better suffering Jumale register national council ibara muntole ani muntumale register ani yes here la from ko la juice ya do tinya la so it's all there, it's all intact, so it's not like it's not there, it's there, but ni ka you not find out, but it is there. But for the elections, there must be rules, and one of the rules is you have to pay your dues to National Youth Council. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Program Manager, National Youth Council. I'll allow Mr. Jawara, the Acting Executive Director.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. I just want to address the question asked by Farmer. we thank you very much for taking the initiative to have a volleyball team in URR. We are aware of the progress that is happening because the national coach, Pa Babukar Baro, who is under the National Sports Council payroll, always sends us updates regarding his trips to Basse and all the progresses that have taken place in Basse in regards to volleyball. That is the indoor volleyball. Now, when it comes to beach volleyball, I think having that is the easiest for one to get because you have the space at the mini stadium. What you only need to have a court that is just like a beach court is to buy sand, have the volleyball court demarcated, pour sand on it, and then maybe when you need the materials like the net and the poles, we can see how we help get those materials. But for the court, that is very simple. You can liaise with the area council through the intervention of the governor and have few trips of sand, spread it, and then you play your game. So for the others, Badary, I think a few weeks ago we have given you 200,000. The whole country is aware of that. And we urge you to use that money judiciously. And then we look forward to seeing another help from the ministry if the need arises. So for other areas, Kantora and others, like what is done in other districts and communities, this is a request that they have sent to the Honorable Minister a few years ago when he embarked on a nationwide tour like this. But what do we do, or how do we approach those assistants? You must initiate something first. We come and see and know that you are on something very progressive, then we can chip in. We cannot start fresh for everybody. But do your own community initiatives, and then the ministry will come in to help you complete certain projects in sports. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will allow...
Thank you very much, moderator. I think Mr. Kagbo asked the questions, right? So what actually happened is like PIA as an international face, and we are part of the 256 countries that's running the award globally. And over the period, the award has migrated from where we used to be in 1979 to 2013. And 2015, the award program became a public institution enacted by law under the laws of the Gambia. So being the case, we have to migrate from an independent operator to a full-fledged public institutions. That led to so many changes with regards to the payment of participants' registration fee and the center registration fee. Initially, we called them the units, and now we call them centers. Like every center, which is school, that is operating the award, you need to apply for a lancing. And the lancing for the centers are free because we are migrating, and we want every school to have an access to the lancing so as that the award participant will continue running the program. Then once the center meet the criteria of the lancing, then the students in those centers that want to do the programs are also supposed to buy a form, what we call participant registration form. In that participant registration forms, it has so many elements embedded there. The award program, the history, the 3 levels of the award, bronze, silver, and gold, the 4 mandatory sections of the award, community service, the adventurous journey, physical recreation, skill and interest, and at gold, you have the RP, which is the 14 days compulsory residential project in an unknown destination. So with all those things, it involves cost. Over the period, Gambia governments, through the Ministry of Youth and Sports, were paying those fees for the international award. Because globally, each participant participating in the award program are supposed to pay a participant registration fee. What that mean is like the money is not coming to us, because you could see this medal is the gold medal. You have the gold medal, we have the silver medal, and the bronze medal, and the certificates we give. And all these medals and the certificates are customized, and you cannot get them here in the Gambia. Particularly for the medals, globally it's customized in Australia. For one to get any medal, it has to do with cost. And these participant registration fee are the ones that we put together with the complement from government through the Ministry of Youth and Sport. We make sure that these medals are ordered from Australia and they are given to the participants who met the requirement and finish their levels. And the certificate as well is a customized certificate. It's not just like an ordinary certificate that you print here in the Gambia and award it to the participants. No. Our certificates are the only certificates in the Gambia where you have His Excellency sign. Even me as a director, I am not authorized to sign on the certificates. Not anybody, apart from His Excellency, the President, or where possible in the region, the governor of the regions, or where possible, the mayor, or in school, the principal. So all these things cost money. With regards to the office, automatically we are very much aware that there is a need for an office, but we're currently working with the ministry because it's all in one. The constraint that every institution faces is similar to the PIA, and we hope that Basse will appreciate that, and that we have a very good RC, that's our regional coordinator, who is doing very well. This morning, the governor confirmed that when we have in a tete-a-tete with him, he uploaded the coordinator and the PIM works in there. And also, Mr. Kagbo also said that. Like, initially, we were not that much present in Basse. But currently, we are present in 10 schools in Basse. In overall participation from bronze, silver, and gold, we are close to 1,000 our participants in URR. I think that's a good number, and it's a very unprecedented number. We never had that in Basse before. And these are all opportunities that we have, because Basse is such an area that the art program is growing very well. Currently, for the information of the Honorable Minister and that of the Governor, we have been approached yesterday by 2 communities that want to introduce the award at the community level, which we encourage. And if that happens, Basse will be the first region in the Gambia to introduce the award community, which is accepted. I think that other than that, the rest we can have a bilateral discussion when we have a lunch. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So before moving to the high table.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Samba John, the Regional Agriculture Director of URR. Just to respond to the lady that said about this food processing. In the region here, we have the regional structure. Each district, we have the district structures, and we have 7 districts in URR. So each district, we have the district structures, and this district structure, also we have the national structures. In URR, she mentioned about processing. We have 2 centers that was constructed by EBA, that's EBA project. One is at Nyakoi Kerawan, and the other one is at Hela Kunda. So, and if you could recall, last year, there was a trade fair organized by Roots Project on food processors. So now, what I can tell for the lady is, if you need any materials, the Roots forms will be out next month, so that she can apply for the Roots matching grant. So these are opportunities. We want the youths to involve themselves. But sometimes it's a big challenge. When the forms are out, we hardly see youths applying for this matching grant. And this is the last batch as far as the Roots project is concerned. So I want to take this opportunity to make sure all the youths, let them apply for this youth matching grant. So these are opportunities that they can grab on. Thank you very much.
So, Annie, I would advise you to see the director.
PIA office, it has been...
Those of you at the back, if you want to have any discussion, it's outside, not inside, please.
Thank you. So the office for PIA, the director has answered. NYC, you got your answers. Change room for Basse Mini Stadium. All right, so I think the conversations are ongoing between us, the governor's office, the area council, for a joint effort to upgrade the facilities here. And that is something that is being driven by the chairman of the Basse Area Council based on the requests of the communities. And, you know, we have had a conversations with governor. He's right here, and he supports the idea because he understands that the young people of Basse and URR by extension need it. So I don't know how soon, but I know certainly that this year or let me say before the mid of the year, hopefully work will start here at the mini stadium to upgrade it. What we are going to upgrade or what is the plan, I'm not very sure. But primarily, I know the pitch is one that is certainly going to be part of it, and the chain link fence. The rest of it depends on the availability of funds, but we are committed to it. Skill centers having short courses. All right, so I don't know how long these courses takes, but it appears the lady was saying about 3 months to 6 months. Certainly, that is a short time for anybody to know to master any craft, unless for the simple ones like satellite institutes that they do on a 6 months. However, that's something we can take up. Maybe governor has an answer to it. But the programs that we run through the NYSS or through the PIA are 2 years. They are not 6 months. So if we recruit people through the apprenticeship training program or the regular Badjie with the NYSS, and we send them to institutions, they do a program for 2 years. And all of those 2 years are fully funded by the government through the NYSS, where we pay for tuition, which is the tuition fee, the school fees, and we provide stipend monthly to each of the students. Currently, as we speak, we have about 350 young people that are in various training institutions, all fully funded with their tuition fee and their monthly stipend. In addition, we have another 100 young people that are university graduates that are part of our university graduate program that are sent to various institutions, and they are paid a stipend of $5,000 monthly. So if you put that together, that is 450 young people that are part of the NYSS program, 3 different programs. And all of these are government-funded programs. The Gambia Songhai Initiative, you look at the list there, you will see it at the bottom. We have just graduated last Saturday, 47 young people who were at the Chairman Training Institute on GSI for 12 months. Their breakfast, lunch, and dinner is all funded by the ministry because they are resident there. So for 12 months, imagine how much that is. Your lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, your accommodation. Even if they are not feeling well, they are taken care of by the ministry. So all of these are initiatives that are under the ministry, funded by government for young people. When the young people graduate, they don't have a job. Somebody said that, and he was saying that we need to help them. We understand. However, let's look at this way. I don't believe, and I don't think anyone here believes that there is a lack of job in this country. And we said this is a frank conversation, so we need to be direct. There is no lack of job in this country. What we have is some young people choosing not to take the jobs that are available. That is the reality. Otherwise, why do we have people from other countries coming here to work? And I'm sure even in URR here, you have Guineans here, you have Senegalese here, I'm not sure, maybe you have Sierra Leoneans here, you have people from Benin. They are all over the country. In Combo, where we are, the construction sector is dominated by people who are not Gambians. We were told in CRR yesterday, by not even a government official, that when they were erecting the poles for the Nawek electricity extension, they couldn't have Gambians to work. It is foreign nationals that are working on those projects. Why? Because Gambians don't want to take those kind of jobs. So there is no problem of work here. It's because we choose not to. And I said in my statement at the beginning that the reason why government is opening up a TVEC center in Tujereng is because of the fishing industry. There are a lot of opportunities there. Will young people say, I cannot be a fisherman? So everybody gets a job depending on your skill. If you finish high school, you know that you cannot do certain jobs because the qualifications that is needed, you don't have them. If you finish university, then you can do certain kind of jobs. If you don't have grade 9, you're limited to certain jobs. One young people must be ready to take those kind of jobs. But you cannot be a grade 12 graduate and you want to do a university graduate job. That becomes difficult. The other problem that we're encountering is young people don't want to spend many years learning skills. You want to be a tailor, then you go and say in a tailor, let me speak in Mandinka. Problemo muminti. Wale mko na funding kila amanke beti. But do bijele mi yalanko do ko mi yalanko wale be sorongam Gambia wale bijang. Dol bijele mala fika woke. Wala ti nanga most of mi yalanko batanam bantala banko to ibe Gambia janne ibe doko kekan. bi ni tara dula do to do ko be damen constructional mbang o pol e nawek la do kula e jama minti mi yalon ko ibatana bantal ma fa ko ni pare ni banta grade ni grade 12 sort o high school university e nyanta do ko kala bar ni ata ko fonni ke nyanta grade 9 or maybe grade 12 ala fela pour ka do ko sort mi yalon ko university requirement le bije ata astronol bare ku do bije mi yalon ko mbe wala je kam fana wala fondin kel katara mecce dulat ibuka mecce no baake ye do ko bula o ye mecce ningo bula ita e koy kapitala be la workshop la yela ni lata ko itemu masongoleti inyanta sila le ye mason ya karang fonia no ye tara ila boss kodo fo na ya lonko e sa yo ita partala pour kata sita bara because fo nikel dol bi jelemi ala ko e koronta tale pour ka do ko soro ni mecce karang sanje fula drong ya mire ko ya nole ya bula so ni tata ni moye do ko dila e do ko kay aman konta wo mote tano la ko daga pour do ko kay anon naye modo je dulado to mi yalon ko lafte tala ba fala ko ha nyinde ndenga do ko dal ba min ay min ka mambete wala tinna fanan do ko boka keno bare jama tol be nga lonne nimbe to nya fokan hani karalo mol ka fole ko ikara senegal o doli a fole ko senegalis karalo le bija karala le bija kata walta na gambe karala le because maybe ka minke aman more satisfy wala tinna ni sulata masongola ika modo leta so these are the things mi yalon ko dol fanga o ni do ko no vraiment serious do code ni moye contrat ko dila bi yeta do ko la sama ya ko kay continanol o ni bitala yeta e man fintino juna yeta do ko la 10 4 o'clock ye jiyeta amari sura tala do ko la pare in 2 weeks or in 1 month barete na ya do ko ta ya mabaje ata pare la o abe no makan sometimes ngo ikamol dani le pour yela do ko ke so these are the things mi ya lon ko fan nyantam fan jibela la nga lon ko doko bijele bare maybe ntol ka tamandi nyamen o maybe mamme chokaran no baake o ni moye doko dilay buka kena lafta la nyamen wala problem wot anon tol ka be at one time nga doko lal sotel bare hani gadi no fongo dol bijele mi yalan ko nga kaddu ni ngoleta doko wala bare na gadi no ibukana sangole keda ngada mbari ne jibe ko liole ben no sokono bi manda so mo sodo. Those are the kind of things me along code fundinkel dol ka wala ke wala tina kol koleat so nyanta wol be jibelale nga lon ko nga wo fale ma fo kay belem de bar dol bi jele wolem ni be mecho ninkan a karang fonia no a manjari current bare hani 20-year-old akoy apareta do ala karango abe mecho karang kana bare sa ya nole aba no la nyaadi le 2-3 years mo te woto na la pour ka mecho karang because mecho fo ngo ku jamale bi jem ya ko sometimes sanjilulu ibole tal hani tata julangel o tara college ne me to karanje 2 years woda madama mankanya ni bota ye nyanta fan sambala moye mi alon ko do ko nole yettara kono den aye karandi imam millon schoolot ye wo karanje for another 2 years or so then wato la isita no ye fansum workshop o yela company yele alright so these are the things. Beach volleyball is already answered. Yeah, I think primarily maybe pour katamo taladrom, but I say, but mbadan de la dameng wolem ko na chamano diamulal min diamuta jang ye ku betole fa akam wolem Mr. Balde Timuya anun tol axe ministry axe council lafta tentula lafta jailale parce que kabirin kunum birin na rafilo to ngam mimmoy anin sante ngam mimmoy from fundingkel wolem ko birin ay sport council sport committee yora la sport committee ta falin jamale keta woto way ka mintandi wolem ko nin lafta nyaato taye soto mbe molle tombon na miya lonko ye doko lonne e parcela pour que doko ke e kan natna fulo tinyala e ba jale ko femfe miya lonko dunta committee kono ya tamande a nyanta kala nyamen wala ka nyaato ta si so to Mr. Balde we will say congratulations, your people speaks highly of you and we are very proud of you for what you're doing. Keep it up, you have our support.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister.
Yes. Okay, let me just clarify one thing.
Yeah, so we have 4 minutes.
Okay, ala barka bake ngamira ntera diamo de si ala bake bari.
My name is Alaji Muya Bande, the regional sport chairperson for URR. My name is Alaji Muya Bande, the regional sport chairperson for URR. First of all, I have to greet the external high table that are here, and the rest of the participants or the people who are here in this mighty hall. There are a few things that I want to talk about. That is one, Governor have said it here, for Gambia, not URL, for the Gambia, we need institutional change, which is very important in anywhere you go. That's why this illegal migration is rampant. Nowadays, the Youth Council, there are a lot of opportunities that are established there compared to then. Because I can remember in those years when we were in council, we were paying more of debt than other editors. But now, go to the council, there are a lot of projects. When you go to PIA, you go to GAMJOB, you go to NEDI, you go to any of the youth institutions that you have there, there are a lot of opportunities there that are happening there. But if we are grabbing them. Compared to then, we were there at council with the minister. When we go to council meeting, we will sit from 8 o'clock up to night. We are just trying to sort out areas, how to pay areas. At times, we have to give them the tax, those in combo, like the minister and the chairman of Badjie, we have to tax them, please help us how to solve these issues. We are always paying areas from 2010 to 2015. But now, there are a lot of opportunities that we have. So the young people should capitalize on those opportunities and take them as we do.
You have two minutes.
The other thing is, we talk about institutional change. Look at our stadium. Everybody is talking about stadium. But what did we have in our stadium? Since 2007, 20 years, we are using this stadium. We don't have a single butut in this stadium. When I put up the tariff, when I come as chairman, when I put up the tariff, people are saying, Alaji is wicked. It's not, I'm not wicked. This is our responsibilities. We should have said, Minister, we have 1 million. Can you please help us to develop our stadium? But as of now, what do we have? It is just recently, I said it yesterday, with all the hustle that we made with the Basse subzone, that place here, a final, you score 90,000. One final, you can score 90,000 here. We made a fundraising during the neck-off. Only 4 teams. We scored $140,000. Only 4 teams that play in Basse. Hey, football can produce a lot of things. We can make some funds here and develop our field. But there's still nothing. It is just recently. With all the bad name that I took, we were able to keep, for the stadium, $60,000. That has never happened. So it's very important. The other thing is, which we have, a bigger challenge that we have is, Honorable Minister, okay, that we have is, sport is not like the youth association. Minister, you have a bigger challenges. People will just go to the AG chambers and register themselves as football federation. They will say, Wuli is football federation. How can a district be a federation? How can a district call him? Wuli is football association. Sandu is football association. Now it is spreading. In Kantora, they go to AG chambers, they registered Kantora Ex-Players Association. And they don't want to go through the district sport committee, which is the umbrella body of all sporting activities in Kantora. This is a problem. I think before the AG chambers registered anybody, they should consult us and consult the ministry. Because these associations, they are not youth organizations whereby you just form 3 people, you go and form yourself, organize yourself as an association. And they come and say, we are independent. As our URRFA always said, when you tell them we are independent, how can somebody independent? If the Gambia Football Federation is under the National Sports Council, how can a regional association say you are not under the district regional sport committee? That is not possible.
Thank you so much.
So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Embe governor aninna tanko bunda mol menni bijang aninna mansakunda dokula nyaton kon ngebe konton governor tola be honorable minister anala delegation o be konton na bawo ningan ko ngamol to fodron bet na onkul la sartol tiñalal nte lafta ku dantan ne yitandi la jang ntomo alaji mawdo susoleti ntele mo president noti regional youth development kafo amanke regional youth council tide regional youth development kafo ntele kafo le lo nga register wotumo nabosile mu president noti alaji Omar So membi janton te menji jang Gambia be develop kan ne Gambianol bita kan dumale me ya tun na Gambianol bita kan duma na daji ko lom fo na daji ko le fali dokuo banko te yirwano la man dokuo ki mol bi janne fondin kewol kono menni 40 ibe dokuo la ibe maso yala mol bi janne sunkutu ndingli menni 40 ibe dokuo la ibe senola bari memman karang imanta high school imam mecho karang iko banko be kole ari doku te keri yombe doku di le hanin na mechi karang minister ya fo janne nimmel lafita me musu ngi ngo damuta wala kata ya fo lafta fita ya karang kari dantan ra fa ko muso binala ni muso nata mechi karang bula abe kole ala ngata nte ka senole annun ka fe pero kele bari lu wolun kata na gadi no tole mo jama bi ja yalla mo gadi doku lal lafta men fala honorable minister ala ya kendi NYSS kol bijan me yen si jambi pour ka loja wala mo ko honorable minister honorable governor ite ba kalamale ando ngamira minister fana ba kalamale na board member so dol bijan ne nyim meeting to jayi ba kalamale nga NYSS nge allocate 100 by 100 pour ye metti karambu lo funding kewliye isi meccio karanje janniye bojaye ta fo LRR wala janniye bojaye ta fo kombo ngalandila is more than say is nearly 3 years fe mankije ando nabod member sol bijanne lafta me folale funding kewli be me wasika arnyanta aliyakata ali kukije nalman kukije lani for your information I will take it ando janninga futa woto se fere ke menyanta kala ayke baos MOU le develop tan tema so MOU nyi atinyata bawa atinyata don alinga jara ninta jara nola woto nga fere ke nga fano do dungala onkol malla fi la ko tinyala bari mbeñi ciap sport ciapasino ani na onkol mama salu ngal be ni mbara ngali tentu mbete fana jeyla baake abaraka baake
onkol wokumo moyta.
All right. Thank you so much, Mustafa, and then greetings to the high table from the Honorable Minister with the delegation and the Governor and all the delegates from across the 7 districts, both youth and sport, and all the stakeholders that we have. Although I am constrained by time, because Governor will tell me that I am a teacher, so 3 minutes will not be enough for me. So. My name is Mama Salih Jallo, the Regional Youth Chairperson for Upper River Region. I have many issues that I want to talk about, but then the progress that have been made so far in URR in terms of development for the young people and sport, I think they have been mentioned by previous speakers, so I will not repeat. Just to thank the government through the Ministry of Youth and Sport for those developments. First, we have seen the thematic areas from youth unemployment, youth leadership and participation in decision-making, sport infrastructure, inclusion, gender and inclusion, partnership and innovation, and irregular migrations. These are issues that are so much important in URR. And then the National Youth Council is here, the National NYSS and all other institutions are here. The first thing that I will talk about is the issue of irregular migration. Mustafa Sonko will attest the issue of irregular migrations. We were having the mixed center, which was so much important in the work of the Youth Council at the level of the National Youth Council and at regional level. So since the stepping out of the mixed centers, we have been seeing numerous migrations going on from across the region because young people are not engaged at their district level and at regional level in terms of sensitization, because sensitization play a very important role in coping irregular migration. And the mixed centers, I would suggest if there are any plans at the level of the National Youth Council to revive or bring back the mixed centers, that will be very helpful. That is one. And then the other issue, at the level of still because I'm speaking on behalf of the young people, and it's at the level of the Regional Youth Committee. I am happy that the National Assembly member is working with them. because the National Youth Council is an act of parliament. So if you have an act of parliament, I think it's important that it is, given resources to do their work. Because we have our National Youth Council. If the National Youth Council is constrained in terms of finance, I don't think the regional structures will function, talk less of the district structures. Because as RYC, as the Regional Youth Committee, we have over 20,000 young people that are looking up to us to engage them, to do their work. And without resources, that would be very difficult. And at RYC, we have staff that we employ. We have 7 staff that are not employed, that are not paid by the government, they are not paid by the council, they are paid by the RYC through the centers that have been built by the ministry and handed over. But then the resources are very constrained. So that one also is something that I think the National Assembly and all the stakeholders involved to see if the regional youth committees and district youth committees can be subvented. Because since the coming of the RYCA, I've been this is my 5th year, but we were only subvented one. That was 100,000. So please, that is for the National Youth Council and the ministry to look at that. Because we cannot function, we cannot talk to our people. Because we can go to them, talk to them about irregular migration, but if we don't have the resources, that would be very difficult. So the other concern or issue that I want to raise is the national NYSS. As a region, we want to roll out a pilot project, that is the URR Voluntary Youth Service Scheme, and asking what role can the NYSSS do to help us implement it, just to start. So thank you so much. I have a lot to say, but due to time constraint, this is what I have for now. Thank you, Mr.
You have a lot to say, but we don't have. Paragon, I'm going beyond 2 minutes. Greetings, members of the high table. To my in-law, Alolom Sumai, Mr. Honorable Ba. Instead of Badjie, you are now Ba, until you leave the region. Anyway, we had the discussion. I just want to go straight to the point. We are saying there are not much enough job opportunities, one of which we would say, or we would remind the Honorable Minister, how many students that graduate from the University of the Gambia are at home with their diplomas without not having a job? How many students are graduating from the Gambia College and are at home not having a job? At some point, we can work in different sectors, we can work in different programs, but you don't expect me to graduate with BS, other master's degree. You expect me to be digging holes around when I have been to school, paid school fees, do whatever necessary it is for me to graduate, and you expect me to be digging holes for $600, for $200. How many youths are being employed? One of the reasons why we embark on this bagway, our salaries, or the salaries, in fact, it is not only the youth sector. The salaries at some point are not good. Some time ago, there was salary increment. But looking at the current conditions we are living in, rent is very expensive. You pay rent, you pay certain things in your salary, even your fares, it exhausts your salary. When people are looking at those outside, are being able to send in money for their relatives, for their friends, doing more than what you, the individual, are doing, and you have more qualifications than them, it triggers you to think twice. An outsider doing better than you, when you have qualities, when you have knowledge, when you have skills more than them, it triggers you to go outside. We cannot say the government is not doing. In fact, we appreciate what the government is doing, but we just a gentle reminder for the government to increase on such. Create more job opportunities for us. Those going to universities, those going to college, at least need to get work. Mustafa, please, you still have to hold on, because the minister, yes, the minister needs to hear this. This is why he is here. For him to hear our concern, and one of which it is job opportunities. 2, we need funds for youths that wants to enter into entrepreneurship. At times, there are projects that are supporting youths, but it's very few. For instance, in URR, if you select only 50 entrepreneurs,
out of how many youths in URR is very small. And acquiring those loans are also problems. Sometimes you would have some of the things you want to enter into entrepreneurship, but the criteria or some of the things they request for in those loans programs, it's very difficult for you to have them. So at times we need to look at certain things that are bothering us as youths and speak them out. It is not a way of like not saying the government is not doing, but we have to speak as youth leaders. These are some of the things we face at the district level. And one thing for sure, we would want, Mustafa, hold on please. One thing for sure, Mustafa, no, please. We understand. Mustafa, hold on please. No. Mustafa, hold on please. Mustafa, hold on, don't do that. I have a request please to the minister, if possible. I understand you all want to remove me as a moderator. Thank you so much. I understand when I took up the role as a moderator, there is no way that I will escape criticism. So it is a job that I have taken that you should summarize. But if you think that, anyway, let me just park that.
What I am known for in the whole country is scouting. What I'm going to say is about the Gambia Scout Association. Not only scouting, you know about it, you know the caps that I'm wearing. Yeah, so Honorable Minister, this is something that we have discussed many times. The Scout Association is enacted by an act of parliament. We went through a lot of crises, and we thank your ministry for helping us go through the recent crisis that we had, putting up an interim committee and taking us to Congress. But we are still struggling. We are still struggling. I think the act needs to be looked at. The act needs to be reviewed so that the Scout movement would be brought to where it actually belongs, because it's deterring us in so many ways. I know my people are writing always to your ministry about travels, attending programs here and there, outside there. We are finding it very difficult to even send representatives. We thank your ministry for what you're doing. But let's look at the act. When we look at the act, because that act was in colonial time, and now we are in the Third Republic. I stand to be corrected. Is it still Second Republic? I think the Third Republic is coming up. The Second Republic, as per the Constitution. But we are the third regime of this country. So we want that, that side of it to be looked at, so that the Scout Association will take its right position. I have other things I wanted to say, just to thank the ministry for the recent Safra that you have supported us host. Like Mandinkola Kumolondro, Nintulu Diata, Kanyanantulu Bundilal. But when your trumpet is not blown, it's right for you to blow your own trumpet. And we will be blowing our own trumpet out loud that we did the Safra, which is none of its kind in all the countries. I lived Safra. From the beginning to now, I have attended almost all Safras in all countries. All the 40 years they have been talking about, I have attended. I'm a living witness. But what we did this time is second to none. We thank the ministry, we thank the president, we thank the government and all our partners for that successful one. One thing, as authorities, I'm please appealing, let us not judge one side of the story. Let's always take the two sides of the story before we take a decision. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mustafa, good afternoon. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My intervention actually is directed to the youth committee, the regional youth and sports committees, and perhaps the TAG. Honorable Governor, I think we are really very pleased. We are happy with the active participation of the participants here. But before that, I just want to tell the President, Mr. Krubali, that we have already received a letter from the Gambia Scouts Association requesting the ministry to support with regards to the review of its act. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Now, I think you will all agree with me that so much is being done, particularly in URR here. I think what I want to challenge these two committees, the Youth Committee and the Sports Committee, is to strengthen their advocacy. We have seen a young girl that came out here and then talk about a need, for example, a need that is already in place here. And when the regional agricultural director responded, we know that there are these food processing plants here in the region. And it appears that, it's an issue of awareness. So I think this is where I want to challenge the Youth Committee and the Sports Committee to engage through perhaps through radio sensitization program, through the community radio, and sensitize the young people and the general public of URR about what is happening. The Honorable Minister is accompanied by all the institutions. That's why I think the governor said the whole ministry is in URR here. We are all here. And all these institutions, have their interventions, perhaps even in this region. The NYSS, the Sports Council, all the institutions, NEDI, the PIA, and all the institutions are here. So I think what I would want is for the Youth Committee to be organizing radio programs and perhaps be inviting some of the technical advisory committee members to respond to some of the issues that affects or concerns young people. Because we all agree that the business of young people is everybody's responsibility. Yes, we have ministers here, governors, permanent secretaries, chairpersons, but we are all parents. And we have a responsibility to our young people. So it's everybody's business. So please, these committees, your role is to empower the young people of this country. And in this region, these committees. Go out in the radio, talk to the people, invite stakeholders, agriculture, the security, let them talk about what they are doing, especially that affects young people, and invite young people to ask questions, and those questions will be clarified. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So now I will pass the microphone.
Salam alaikum bala. Bro ngaji ki ko be tambila nyina be lada tambo kelale. Bari na minister to yala na commandant ba to yala. Lafta pour kanyin lahido dial bela ko. Fen futa janga kumayata le. Akumata baki ñinen kar lamu kuma koy ñinol la nata janga mem moy janga ne nga menje akumata baki bari jale musidona la jaay kuma kilim fo wayen kontane baki jale muso fangole wuli yelo ba nana ma kalamuta ndor bota bara mbundita feriola nara fo Basse nim minister be kilo siloka not even once jalo kumata minister ma not even once jalo kumata commissioner ma commandant ma way njakal baake way amata ko ndolo we are shifting from our own culture and values me wande culture ni la value taka society ni man proud la own culture ni la values la there's going to be a serious mistake yakuma man fa kumata baake Koral nin dabal nin kontingol nin susal fongol balundi rombe kuma mbafre ndebe kele spokesperson ndara dawda okay bari bemen imam kuma de ministre manyana bulala bungo na nan jelo kuma kila fa so mbe fonninkewlu ale kuma mefo akol kumata bari mba datela menna wala ngala kumol moy ndol fana manya na bola jang may yamar lo do mandi di fon ninke wala na yamar folo mu menti mbele fila fonninke on hannal be ma ñin keno bar fonninke danda sini adapt meetingol kummata bake meetingol on ka kibarol moy wolto wala ka tana di gap communication gap men ka tara man sa kundani banku dingol tema to modon ka gap so close meetingol ni radio kuma kon lanen ko wala fonninke wala sal fandele ni ñina nal bita meeting dala al kan notebook o sambanen kala alkal nota is very, very important. Ngal na mobile or bal bulle to nyala mot. But you cannot rely 100% on a mobile. Nin kumol men fota aliye safe. Anu janal bita meeting blafana alkal alfam prepare domandi. Momo near invite meeting or try to get enough information about the issues member discussion meeting bla. It makes you a smart contributor and a smart participant in any meeting. Itara dami. Ye fam prepare ni tara fana ni la moro ke notes dota. Or not so ye fam kantawala. Because sometimes you need to make reference to those notes. Nintol nara janga komodo fo. Nimuta na jang kotenke modo sa fanya badala na kotem koma janga le nyini. How far alobe nyadile. But nin nata atola kamura la kuma kilimo le kan tofana kamuru na kuma kilimo le kan progress te kala. Or funding ko kuma ta bakal kal note solta. Fulanjang. Mbela fela funding ke be jani muta suo kono. Yete la bun kono yelo la fam felen daw ñaatle ñala ye fan jibe ye fan access ite la life de tembe du malata what do you want in your life ilafta mun kala because ala hakilo din momo la suto ni la jani ka sino ila sino secretariat ñaaw ñaa konté e ka reflect on binte mun ken nabalu kono ngamune achieve whether you wasted your whole day sitting in one place drinking attire Sani mo jira karam mo buka hani novelo sika kakaran mo buka newspaper sika kakaran mo buka la kela mo news fawla naman ke social media ko I think funding ko we are doing a great disservice to ourselves londo nyino manche nyinde ka londo nyine pour ka do ko damalake ni londo soto e ka inform le when you are informed you are empowered and to be empowered it means to be free. So the funding ko alenga sai ka londo ni na ke lamorla ten kana hawjo mam betaya hawjo ka kuje maltinya funding ko you want to be rich overnight it's not possible alenga patient soto nga katanga do ko fanake kuma fulanjam alkany funding ko la issues ya bata masakundara dunia ko na mensa address no it's not amanta surprise maybe as model surprise. Because generation of member 1990 generation kana now wala mo funding kyold is yata back ndo la banko we are a young country we are dealing with funding kyold issue na ko be overcome neither developed countries America and Europe wala fana function issues new lesson all they are dealing with old people many yalon ko ka fela generation do eje baby boomers. After the Second World War, moli enyo encourage nga dinjama so sa o dinol be ke bayate be kotot and ko pour ko dinol ma ko men kotot bi pour que fana life sustain very expensive la medical care la insurance and everything. That's where in American politics, in European politics, mostly are dominated by Medicare, Medicaid. Aka president do la tamo presidentinya ntolo men wuluta men mu baby boomers wol be tata la kilin tata san kebo almansia but funding ko nata sia fula bon it takes us by surprise. Almost 75% of our population are young people. Because young people like issues be addressed. It's not easy. A country that is struggling like Gambia, Mantulo sort of flow, Mejigere, Fon Manfin follow. Ninkomba Bekelanol at one time at a possible level. But believe me, there's progress happening in this country. It all on the funny fin 5 years, 3 years, Yamurnam. Gambia Jibe, you go from Kombo to Basse. If one can menji, Nieman can Nafiko, the monkey can deny, you don't live in denial. About the progress is happening. But there's a big concern. Banko me alon ko funding ki sabo funding ke sabo kilimbe je men lafata tamalo o me alon ka be tamasilo kana pareto o anatal ya deport nan we have a challenge. O funding ki kata abeka gap le to jaw that gap is being filled by foreigners obviously because things have to move on. So at some point how are we going to come back and claim what belongs to us? At some point in nakordal ni na dulal be funding lundal be sanna olunta la famina mbare muso la futura or as citizens nyanda sila ngamira nyina ko we can do it here in Gambia. Every young Gambian should challenge yourself and believe that you can do it here. Moloko ka fonninke ol sembentu ya ni skill soro. Yes, masakunda bo ke kan. Bare ni adi fonninke do la motorcycle di lefi do di leke wa fele ta backway. That's a challenge for the government. So when the government policy la approach be men use kan if on ya start if ay ngeje ngajiko soro ko ye isobe yatale masakunda ne ma koy dunia bankote dunia kono me yalon ko masa kundal ka mol be employé amam possible bar mol fonka ñoo employé no le ni dama fonnin ke wote kapenta yani yano e qualified ma fo minister men fo sanji sabare ko qualified ni ade da people want quality ni ade da nama bete amol borle ta doya. That's why we go to Senegalese for tailoring and other things. So fonnin ke oni tata qualified if any fonnin ke luluta ye employee donc mototie fonninke fulata modo fane fonninke dota ibajale employment fala create banko ka oto fonninke o mbanyal danila alinga patient soto alinga dum karambu moto bare karam fana development comes with its own challenges. Development na own challenge la kana yes university bita but should everybody go to university and want to read law? Should everybody want to go to university mobe ko mbekala management ibe mune manage la. Countries have our national priorities. We need more doctors and more nurses and more in the science fields. So ni membita karamoto ni ngatre isi mira mune do ko soto ko le ka vantara karamoto drone wante ali fen karame alon ko ni jita drone there will be a job available for you. And then do ko soto fana ka make sure soto amanche ko e ka fen kelo pre do ko soto ni ritata momo ibe fonnin kele be kebala ni ritata you can depend on ile mecho yes skill me soto it depend no kan. But in communicate, this is about the mindset of our people. We need to convince each other. That is where the problem is. Discipline and to help improve the mindset of the people. Until priority moment, every young Gambian, we want you to be healthy, we want you to grow, and we want you to develop. We will do our part. The parents have to do their part. The whole community has to do a part because it is the responsibility of every community to raise one very good child. Ni baraka de kafale he ni mun dingolti. Ni man baraka ko kar ñol dingolam. So community be la responsibility ka make so Gambianolu mo be ke mo kendoti mo be grow mo be afanna fa mo be yuwa mo be balu. But mo be ñanta contribute so government institutions ñol fana ñante fan chelani to complement the efforts of the government. Alenkana beke workshops or ni meeting or ni odamati. Let's go out there, engage our people. Ngala muna mula challenges. Funding ko security, you have a role to play. Security and mechalal sort like the Army Corps of Engineers, police only engineering units sort of. Ibeje bullo no e fon beno, but mbeke engage. Nal be Basse jang aliamo Basse funding ko be football field offense la. Mobilize all security personnel, let them come and work with them, because you are going to bring discipline in that process. Rather than always in the contractor, or sustain no. Or Ninamu Kumoti left and Memphora Mole. Alinkana housing kana official. Gambia, we are on the right track. Masakundaba Katakan. But it's not going to happen overnight. We are just 60 years old. 1994, I can tell you, the entire civil service, we had only 24 air conditioners. Masakunda Dokula be 24 air conditioners 1994. B air conditioner jelebeja 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can put on some Gambia to la better. Honey, Saturday one side be put on. That's a big improvement in our lives. Scientific funding on to Simone Keno. To match the development challenges, developmental challenges on Mankana, funding you and the mirror sector, Alinkana and time is back in social media. Ekamoja Janika and Janako password. But the first thing that member Kalara mind, I $100 kilo about at a credit cosa. Concourse more $100 kilo at a credit cosa. Because to Babole and Dinale might educate how to use it properly. Mba abuse can say. I'll be more destroyer. More on social media for 2 a.m. Nobody wants to read. Nobody wants to open a book and read. In fact, our standards are going down. For Kamala, we have a lot to do, and we have a lot of thinking to do as a society. Alenga nyonganya, alenga kacha inna ataya dulalto, na kacha da banta balto, na kuol fay nyokan, na mansa kunda sembentu ya, na bamu kumanda koma, na malim gambia mansa kunda, na jibe msimune kenon fay, nim politiko sidam be politiko, nim politiko banda, alenga politiko put aside, na banku doko mbe focus oka, wala munna kumote, ma fala ya nimbara ya katabake. Mola kuma kawata ja memma important kuma bele important o jariba alkana sonye na kotanke masakeo kana la banko kalman kuma yo ala baraka baka ala baraka.
Thank you so much, Permanent Secretary. Thank you so much, members of the High Table. Now we call this meeting to an end, and then we promise that whatever is said here will be highly documented. So for us to put a note on the coffin,